Hey guys, hope you're doing all well. Today I'm going to be talking about the week number 43, the first half that is, of my week number 43 of 2024. Previously, I've been doing pre-written weeks, and that was very effective on my first week. However, I've started to see that I've honoured the plans less and less. So, I haven't done it this week, and so far it's been alright actually. Um, I think it may have been 2 weeks ago now, I voiced my frustration on being able to follow my macros because I felt that they were fucking outrageous, especially when it came to putting together a decent meal. I mean, decent as in there's definitely enough calories, that's for damn sure, but the meal being nice and balanced, for fucking hell, no. I was having about 400 grams of onions with 3 eggs. It was ridiculous. Um, However, of course, that is partly my fault. Just I'm not clued up enough in the culinary world to be able to put a meal together with those macro restrictions, and I gave up for a week. The whole reason why I'm doing this is because I want experience as a personal trainer and as perhaps an online coach, and just more experience in the general fitness industry. Um, I'm very lucky enough to be blessed with good genes, and I mean, I find it very fun training and pushing my body, and I also tend to just veer towards healthier options when it comes to food as well. Now, sometimes I eat like shit, but I make up for it because I move a lot. So I'm pretty happy with where I'm at right now myself, fitness wise. So everything I'm doing now is just so I can more relate to some of my future clients. If I'm asking them to hit these sort of macros or do this sort of training, I want to make sure that I've done it myself first so I understand. And I've started to quite enjoy the challenge. And well, I say enjoy the challenge. That was definitely not the case the first time I attempted it. That's why I stopped for a week. But then I sort of had the realization, like, this is ridiculous. How do you expect people to do this if you're going to quit? But I've now experienced what it's like giving up on a diet, so I can actually relate now. And I've really stuck at it, and I've had a long time spent just staring at my screen, trying to put together meals with not much productivity, to be honest. I've been very frustrated with my lack of progress. But, there has been a little bit of progress in this week because I have started to get back on the meal plan and make some meals that actually weren't terrible. Monday was pretty shit. No, sorry, I didn't start on Monday. I started on Tuesday. Was that Tuesday? No, that was Wednesday. Alright, but yeah, we'll start moving through the order. For those of you who are new, I do about 2 videos a week, Monday to Wednesday, and then usually Thursday to Sunday, talking about my week, sort of self journaling. This is a form of journaling, and I would definitely recommend that all of you do it. So yeah, Monday, this is before I started the diet. I actually decided to postpone it until Wednesday because I wanted to make sure that I have all the ingredients that I need. I want it to be organised. I'm not really that well organised. It's something I'm working on. Life would be much more easier if I was, but just naturally I'm not. But it's a skill I'm working on. So for breakfast on Monday, my favourite breakfast, which is 200 grams of porridge with Nutella, beautiful. And had that. Contacted the London Health Clinic because they taken ages to post my Lancelets, which are these things that stab your finger so you bleed, for a test. I want to see what my testosterone is like. I'm really curious to see. I played a bit of Minecraft in the morning. I'm trying to get this church finished as soon as possible because I just really want to see the finished result. My problem is the more I'm building it, the more cool shit I'm thinking of, and I know it's going to take ages. And the Chisel and Bits mod is amazing, but extremely frustrating to work with. Even though it's frustrating, I think it's still really good. But fucking hell, it's worth it in the end. I'm really happy with what I've got so far, and I know there's so much more that I want to do with it, and it's going to take me ages. And I'm worried about lag. Like, I wonder if I do too much of these custom blocks, if it's going to lag. there's not that much content out there with amazing chisel and bit stuff. There's some pretty good stuff, but there's not like amazing. I think the potential with that mod is so much higher than what people have currently put it towards. And again, I mean, I'd want to say there's nothing good out there because I have seen some pretty cool stuff. But the thing that worries me is the coolest stuff is often pretty laggy. But anyway, not really that important. I started work at 11:30 at the new restaurant. I've been there this is my second week here, and it was alright. Did the shift, everything went pretty chill. Not really anything to comment on. I think I had a really nice curry afterwards. I had a little bit of staff lunch, it was beautiful. No, I didn't. No, I went shopping to go and get some ingredients for these lunches. Had my creatine, had my spaghetti bolognese. Worked on some of the macro stuff. I think I was planning the meals for the later in the week, which I've now started to do. I was planning here for macros. Started doing some resistance training, which is the scientific fancy way of saying weights training at 8 p.m. And I've really started to fucking enjoy it a lot. I started all of this, as I said, as an experiment, because I already do my jiu-jitsu training. I'm already in really good shape because of that. I used to do some weights to complement the jiu-jitsu training, more like strength and conditioning style. But now I'm sort of, I don't want to say bodybuilding, but I suppose it is like a very hobbyist bodybuilding sort of approach that I'm going for. And I'm starting to really enjoy it. I'm starting to just enjoy it on its own instead of being in the mindset, oh, this is an experiment. I mean, I've gone to the gym 6 days a week for 2 weeks now, and not a single time has it been like, I don't want to go. Like, every time I really want to go. And now people have started to notice changes. On Tuesday, I went to jiu-jitsu training, and I haven't been training that much jiu-jitsu recently, simply because I just haven't enjoyed it at the moment. And I've been a little bit injured also a few weeks ago. And some of the people who I haven't seen in a few weeks said, fucking hell, mate, you going to the gym, yeah? And I was like, I am, actually. So, it's really cool that people notice. It's like, when you actually put work in and people notice, it's actually amazing. It's a really good feeling. And I suppose that goes for everything, you know? It goes for any kind of work. If people notice the work, it feels really good, I can imagine. And this is kind of only really my first time experiencing something like that, really, which is sad, because I'm 22. I've been a lazy fucker. But I definitely will change this. I saw, like last week I hit a little bit of a wall with the PT stuff, a little bit of imposter syndrome. And I do really want to make content, but I'm trying to think, like, what the fuck can I actually add to... What can I add that's actually helpful? And to be honest, I still don't have an answer for that. Maybe some humour stuff, I don't know. Might just be cringe, though. I definitely can't really add science stuff, because not even the scientists really know what they're fucking talking about. Every 20 years, the scientists are wrong when it comes to fitness. And there's so many studies that just say bullshit stuff. There's so much shit on Instagram saying if you eat this fucking lemon, you're going to lose weight. It's fucking stupid, but... Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know what kind of content I want to make. I just know that I want to make content. So I guess I've started listening to some podcasts whilst I fall asleep around content creation and growing channels. And I suppose you can't really go wrong with just self-documenting, I guess. A lot of people do that. A lot of people have success. I'm sure there's also a lot of people that don't have success doing it too. It's not a guaranteed path of success, but I suppose that maybe that's something I could do, self-documentation. Like, here's what I eat in a day, here's what I did in a day for fitness. Again, that's really not an original idea, lots of people do that, but if I could have my own little funny twist on it, maybe it'll be a success. Didn't have a supper after training on Monday recorded. I'm pretty sure that's because I failed to record it. I'm quite sure I did eat something, but I can't remember what. Tuesday, woke up at 7, had my porridge, and I had to prepare a packed lunch, something I haven't done in fucking ages. And I also had 12 squares of dark chocolate in my porridge instead of Nutella, which was, it was alright, pretty good supplement. Pretty good, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't fucking know. So yeah, did the open mat at 9:30, energy was 4 out of 5, my performance in rolling, I rated 3.5 out of 5. I'd say I agree with that in hindsight, it was pretty good, felt pretty energised. There was a good amount of people on the mat, wasn't too busy, and I was pretty happy with my rolling, I did alright. Um, After that, jumped in the shower, had low-fat cottage cheese sandwich with 3 boiled eggs and a coffee. And I waited around for a bit, watched some training sessions, sat in the coffee shop, just went on my phone for a bit. And the guy that I mentioned 2 weeks ago, lovely guy, big Russian man, who works with a lot of high-level athletes, he offered to do free training sessions with me. And I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, man, I'm up for that. So when he said 3 o'clock, that really didn't work with my schedule. But I said, hey, fuck it. He's giving me free sessions. I'm both going to benefit from this as an athlete and as a trainer, because I'm going to be able to see what it's like from a client's perspective. And I mean, yeah, his training style is much different to probably what I would be teaching. But I'll take everything I can get. And he knows that I want to be a PT, and he's also said, hey man, you can shadow some of my sessions if you want. I'm so blessed for some of these opportunities that have just landed in my lap somehow. So yeah, had my little packed lunch and for a few hours I had to hang around, or I got to hang around. I should rephrase. I don't want to be an ungrateful little cunt. But yeah, hung around for a bit on my phone, just talking to some coaches, watched some more jiu-jitsu, and before I knew it, 3 o'clock was around the corner. I walked to the gym with the coach. We had a coffee together at this LGBTQ bar. It was pretty funny. Jeez, there's like signs everywhere saying Jesus loves trans, and like the barristers were like super, like they're covered in piercings. I was like, what the fuck's going on? But yeah, I had another coffee, my second coffee, big caffeine. Actually, that would have been my third coffee of the day. But yeah, I had that, did the strength and conditioning session with another MMA fighter who's a fucking cool dude. And yeah, really enjoyed that session, had a wonderful time. Came home, had my creatine, had my spaghetti bolognese, and then rushed off to do my own PT. I had a client on Tuesday evening. It was a very, very busy day, this was. Literally, I said to my client, I'm just going to be a little bit late. I've just got home myself, necked my spaghetti bolognese, rushed on the bike with a full belly of a large pasta. I felt like I was going to throw up. And yeah, rode my bike, got to my client's house. He was a little bit sick. He wasn't really in the mood for training, but we did a session anyway. I was sort of easy on him. And it was also the start of a new mesocycle, so a lot of the repetitions were quite light and quite low, so it was fine. Also leaving a lot of reps in the tank, so it's kind of suited. Rode back home, and then literally on the way home bought some food, put it in the fridge, and then rode back out to go and do my own second, well technically third gym session of the day. I kind of did like 4 workouts today. It was pretty gnarly. I did the jiu-jitsu in the morning, did the strength and conditioning session, rode my bike for about an hour, and then so I usually join in with my PT client in the middle of his sets. I basically do his exact session with him. But today I was like, hey, let me just do one set of each thing you do. One set of each of your movements, because I've got loads to do after this as well, and I've already done shitloads. And he was like, yeah, whatever, cool, mate. But yeah, I went to the shops, bought some stuff for my breakfast on the Wednesday, and met my friend, and we went and did a workout around 8:30, and I did my own little routine, my Superman mesocycle. It's called the Superman workout from RP Strength. I've changed little bits. I've added an extra day of legs, because my legs are my worst muscle group. After this mesocycle, I'm probably going to do a full body, lower body emphasis mesocycle. But yeah, this has been a really cool experience doing this cycle. And when I say cycle alone, it sounds like I'm on roids. I'm a natural athlete, guys, as of today. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. Seen some strength improvements. Definitely seen some physique improvements. And yeah, came home, had some bread, cottage cheese. I think 2 slices of bread, cottage cheese, and M&Ms. I believe it was 2% fat, cottage cheese. And then went to bed. Woke up, and oh my god, yeah. So my this is when I started following the meal plan, or the RP Diet app, where it just gives you your macro spread, and you kind of have to make your own meals. And so I decided to go for. I have a picture of it actually, but it's just grim. So it's about 4 slices of bread, 3 eggs scrambled, But then I also added about 180 grams of egg whites into the scrambled eggs for extra protein without the fats. And on top of that, there was also about, I want to say 200 grams of onion. And that was it. Yeah, and it was not fantastic. I didn't really enjoy eating it, but it hit the macros, so it was good. Then I had to sort out my dog. She didn't want to come inside, so I had to bring her inside after my dad had gone to work, and I had to inject her with her insulin, because unfortunately, bless her, she's diabetic, and feed her breakfast. And before I knew it, it was time to go to work. Got to work 11:30, smashed out a shift. It was supposed to be a pretty quiet day, but we got fucking hammered. That's actually what British people usually say for drunk. Obviously, I don't mean that. Didn't get drunk, but we got rammed. No, that means I did not have sexual no. It was very busy. I work at a restaurant, which I've mentioned many times, and yeah, it was very busy. I think we had about 30 bookings of 30 individuals. I think they call it covers, and we ended up with 100 because a lot of people just turned up without bookings, which is perfectly fine. That's where most of the profit comes from, walk-ins. But yeah, it was fucking insane. And for some reason, we have like people on standby to come in or not, and the manager didn't call any of them in, and we got fucked. There wasn't really much communication with me and the other lady that I was working with, so we were sort of doing the same tables and made it way harder for ourselves. And I haven't really been there long enough to be like, yo, can we have some fucking decent comms, please? Comms. And I'm like, look, you have those tables, I'll have these tables, piss off, get out my way. I haven't really been there long enough to do that. And also I'm pretty new, and I do need help with things like navigating their computer. I think the way they've set up the table numbers is brilliant. It's the best table number system I've ever worked in, and I've worked in 3 restaurants. And but their computer, I think, might be the worst. Like, I don't understand, you know, there's a lot of white, the alcohol list is very extensive, like it is in any medium to high-end restaurant. So when someone says, I want a Sauvignon Blanc or some shit from New Zealand, I don't drink wine, I don't know what the fuck it is really. You go on the computer, and does it say Sauvignon Blanc from New Zealand? No, it says like, I don't even know what it says, but it doesn't say Sauvignon Blanc from New Zealand. Like, it'll be a lot easier if what it said on the computer said exactly what it says on the fucking menu. Like, what reason is there for it to be anything else other than confusion? There's also no search bar, which is fucking gay. If there was a search bar, it would be infinitely easier, without doubt. And yeah, and it goes the same for foods as well. There'll be a food title on a menu, but then it'll be completely different on the computer. But you're just expected to, oh yeah, you'll get used to it. Yeah, I could get used to it, or you could just have the same fucking consistent titles, would make it so much easier. There'll be no mistakes, and we'll all be fine. Why is there different names? I don't understand why. But yeah, anyway, that's one of my little frustrations with the restaurant. Everything else is really cool, but of course I find shit to whinge about. I heard someone say, not about me, but I heard someone say, that person's not happy unless they're whinging, which is pretty funny, or moaning. You're not happy unless you're moaning. Which I thought was very funny. Sometimes I'm definitely guilty of that. But fucking hell, get it together, you know, fuck. But yeah, so it was fucking super busy. We had over triple the people we anticipated for. And yeah, we weren't really ready. We got knocked onto our heels a little bit, but we dealt with it alright. There were some mistakes on my end. I did make some mistakes, and I was very upset with myself. There was also a lot of very rude people, even before I'd made a mistake, before I gave them a reason to be rude. Very rude people, which I really don't like. When they order and they don't look at you, or even worse, when you pick up their food and they don't look at you. You ask them a question, they don't look at you. It's like, what the fuck is so important on your table that you don't have the decency to look at me when I'm fucking talking to you? Not only talking to you, I'm trying to give you a nice experience, and you don't even have the decency to look at me. It doesn't really, like, yeah, they don't even see you as a person. They're just, oh, it's just this robot is just giving me food. Fuck you. I ended up staying an extra hour because there was so much to do, and I was getting really fucking angry, but I managed to contain it a little bit. There was also some technical difficulties, like I was putting orders through and they just weren't coming through on the printer in the kitchen for some reason. And whenever I put drinks through on the computer, these ladies were whinging at me because it was taking ages for their drinks to come. And I go to the bar to see what's taking so long, and I see the bar is completely empty, and there's tickets making a fucking mountain on the table. I'm like, where is the bar? There's 2 bar people today. Where the fuck are they? No one's behind the bar. And I look like I'm making all the fuck-ups, and I definitely was making half of the fuck-ups, but not all of them. But yeah, that was fucking stressful. But I should have really taken that moment to practice stepping back from emotion and, taking a breath and dealing with the situations as they were there. But I definitely sort of let emotion get the better of me a little bit, and some people maybe saw that. Customers would complain and I would just look at them and say, what's the problem? In sort of a rude way. Because I was very frustrated. I should have tried to put a smile on. I find that so difficult, but it's something I need to get good at, both for that kind of restaurant work and for life, really. It's almost never a good idea to act on emotion. God knows, I know that. Fuck me. Acting on emotion has cost me a lot of money and a lot of heartache. But hey, I mean, that's what makes you a man, I guess. Learning these lessons. If you do it more, if you make the mistake more than once, you're a pussy. But I think you're allowed to make the mistake once. I should really finish the travelling journal and then never talk about it again. Yeah, so that was a stressful shift on Wednesday. Fucking hell. Came home, whacked the creatine. I did have a coffee before I left, and one of the managers spoke to me. He was like, "Yeah, mate, don't worry. You did well. It was stressful. Don't worry about it." I was like, "Cool." Had my creatine, had my spag bowl. This time it's actually included in the diet. I haven't accounted for absolutely everything though. So next time I'm going to try and make the spaghetti bolognese myself and actually include every single ingredient in to get the right macros. Because give or take, I'm going probably a little bit over my normal macros. But that's actually alright, because I should have mentioned, I don't think I have already, but the new diet plan that I'm on is actually to cut fat, which is, not that you guys can see me, but without sounding like a dickhead, I'm very low body fat already. If I lose much more body fat, I might not be able to have an erection. So it's getting to that level where I need the body fat I have. I'm just doing it for experimental purposes, because I'm more than happy with my physique at the moment. But I'm just doing it to see if I can cut the fat and keep the muscle, or maybe even get more muscle and at least keep my strength. If I improve strength, that's even better. But as I said, it's just experimental, thinking about what I'm eating, how am I feeling, what am I craving. And so more importantly, I can relate to the people that are going to be paying me soon. But my macros aren't exactly to the point, because a lot of these ingredients are American. But you can add your own, and I need to basically add all of my own ingredients, because this app doesn't cater for British barcodes that you can scan. Anything that I scan is not recognised, but that's fine. But yeah, had the spag bowl. I think I had some cheeky Cheerios as well. Checked my email. Checked some of my clients. Sorted the food out for dinner, and tomorrow breakfast. For the Thursday breakfast. And had an email from the police. Unfortunately, for the 3rd time I've been fucking declined, which is just unbelievable. I don't understand how I don't meet their criteria. It's insane. I mean, I'm not sure if it goes on in other areas of the world, but it's literally been confirmed that in the biggest institutions and these biggest, I don't know, I guess you can call the police an institution, they have like this diversity quota to meet with a certain amount of ethnic backgrounds or sexual orientations. And it looks like the straight white Christian man has been maxed out and they can't hire any more. That's what a lot of people say. Whether or not that's actually what's happening to me, I don't know. But I have heard that this is actually a thing. I've heard from high-ranking firemen that it's actually a thing in the fire service. The likelihood of it being a thing in the police, I would say, is almost definite, because they kind of speak about it, cutting round corners on their website, talking about changes being made in the police of different backgrounds joined today. But I just don't get it, you know. I've never been a dickhead in my life. Well, actually, I have been a dickhead, but I've never been a massive dickhead to the point where I've got a criminal record, is what I'm trying to say. I'm not part of any racist groups, or any groups for that matter, that are involved in politics. Which these are all things that you can get declined for. You know, I meet their bullet point criteria to actually apply for the position. I'm I'm a young man. I'm very fit. I've got no offensive tattoos or any tattoos. Why? You know, why say no? Like the UK, the Metropolitan Police are severely understaffed at the moment. Severely understaffed, according to very many recent news posts and just anything on the news. We're very low on police. We need police. We haven't had this many since this year, 100 years ago or some shit. And obviously the population is way higher. Crime's higher than ever. I don't understand why they won't even see me in person, because I know that they're not getting that many applications. It wouldn't take that long to see all of us in person. Especially they probably outsource their interviews anyway. It's just so annoying, because I really wanted to do that. And I don't think I'm going to apply again. You know, I considered maybe sending a letter to the Chief Commissioner, but you know what, fuck them. You know, it's not really in line with the future that I want, but it's just something I really wanted to do, and it could have been something I was really good at. But, you know, I want to make a lot of money, and I want to work with a lot of people. And the police doesn't really align with that, you know, and, you know, I did really want to do it. And, you know, I've kind of saw it in two ways, you know, because this country, England, is kind of declining. And I thought, hey, I was born here, you know, my family, my ancestors were born and worked and lived here. I should at least try and do my bit to help fix it. And, you know, one police officer cannot fix England, I'm very well aware of that. But, you know, just doing something would give me a little bit of satisfaction. But now I can't do that. You know, I think it's time to make my money and fucking leave. Which is sad of me to say. But, you know, the long-term goal might be, of course, we're still going to be making money for now. But as soon as my grandparents have left this earth, it's time to get the fuck out and make a family somewhere else. Because I don't like it here. You know, I do like a lot of things here, but it's bad news. It's turning bad. It's not good. Let's get out, alright? It's sad. I really would have loved to have done that, but when I say done that, I mean been a police officer, but for some fucking reason I've been declined 3 times. I don't understand how I haven't even earned the opportunity to have a face-to-face interview in any of those 3 fucking interviews. It blows my mind. But anyway, enough of that shit, you know. There's nothing to gain from playing the victim and, oh, poor me, fuck that, and fuck the police. At least now, if someone pisses me off, I can beat the shit out of them, and if I spend the night in a police cell, then it doesn't matter, I'm going to be a PT anyway. Obviously, no, I just said I won't give in to emotion, I just said that. Whoops. Alright, well, guys, I'm a work in progress, alright? Fucking chill out. But yeah, that was an annoying email. Went to the gym afterwards a little bit later, and I met an old friend there actually from school. It was pretty cool to see him. And then came home and I had this wonderful meal that I cooked up. I had rice, like double cream, like for cooking cream, not sweet cream, like savoury cream, and chicken. Rice, cream and chicken. It was fucking delightful. I can't tell you guys how amazing it was. It was it was a very white looking dish, very plain, but it was actually really nice, and it hit the macros. A little bit higher in fat because I went a little bit more on the cream, and it was fucking lovely. Would strongly recommend. But yeah, so that's what I had. That was my first half of the week. I would say, you know, we're making improvements on the meals. We did a lot of work, made some money in the restaurant. You know, we did a lot of working out, did a lot of exercise, getting compliments on the physique myself, learning more about fitness, learning more about nutrition. I'd say not a bad 3 days. Alright, also new mic, tell me what you think. Have a good rest of your week, number 43. That's the one. And yeah, let's get some more fucking work done, boysies.